The following is a real modern league. I set out to record some matches, with good guy ad nauseam just trying to play some games without interacting, and this is what happened. Alright, round one with ad nauseam. This hand has Phyrexian Unlife and ad nause and a Thoughtseize, but we don't have a way to ramp. Playing against a Lurrus deck. I think I have to mulligan because I don't think that this is fast enough. We are on the play, so that's good. I think this is good enough because we have two Profane Tutors, so they can Thoughtseize us and we're still fine, and we get to Thoughtseize them first. Let's keep. Let's get rid of Pact because I think they're on a Thoughtseize deck with Lurrus instead of a counterspell deck, most likely. Let's start with Darkslick Shores, Thoughtseize you. Okay, so it's Burn. This shouldn't be too bad then. Let's take... So we have Bloodstained Myers and Burn, they're not... Oh, yeah, it's Bloodstained Mire, don't tap her. So it's just Boros Burn with Lurrus on the top end. Let's get rid of Boros Charm just because it represents so much damage. Play Lotus Bloom, pass the turn. Our opponent's hand is really not that hot. They have to draw a lot of action in a row. So we might just be able to go, like, tutor, kill you. Pentad Prism on top, okay. Well, we're still suspending Profane Tutor this turn. I'd like to draw a land or two, so that we have enough mana to do things. Oh, damn it, I just did the... Wow, I was just talking about how I wanted to play Profane Tutor there. Okay, well... Hopefully it won't matter. 2 Swift Spears, opponent attacks for 4. Let's see if we get a land off to the top. Phyrexian Unlife on top. That helps us to stay alive. Okay, so... We're playing Profane Tutor here. Our opponent still has a couple lands in their hand, and then 1 unknown card. Lotus Bloom ticks down, so it's been Profane Tutor. Pass the turn. Yeah, I'd definitely be more happy if I suspended Profane Tutor on my turn 2. Because then we'd have a chance of going off next turn. Opponent put Lurrus into hand, so they didn't draw any spells, it looks like. Which is great news for us. We get a Seachrome Coast for free, or for the cost of 2 damage, I suppose. We go down to 8. We draw. Our stuff takes down, we get Lotus Bloom and we draw, rather. Cast you. Yes. Darkslick Shores. Okay, let's just play Seachrome Coasts, Phyrexian Unlife. Pass the turn. Unless our opponent suddenly has a ton of damage, we should just be able to untap Tutor for ad nauseam and win. I can't imagine they have a way to remove any of our permanents. That'd be very unburn of them. We get a Seachrome Coast off the top, we take 4, go down to 8. No prowess triggers, so I assume our opponent still doesn't have any spells other than Lurrus to cast. Maybe an Eidolon, but that's it. And Eidolon isn't enough at this point either because of Phyrexian Unlife. Cast Profane Tutor. Well, I stumbled a little bit, and I think it made us go off on turn 5 instead of turn 4, but luckily it didn't matter. Play you. Cast ad nause. Easy peasy. And now I click a bunch until our opponent either concedes or they look at our whole deck and we cast that Thassa's Oracle like we're meant to. I might Thoughtseize them first just to be cheeky. No. Yeah, let's be cheeky. See what they were working with at the end of that game. They drew a Searing Blaze. Good for them. And Thassa's Oracle. Hooray! Our opponent conceded instead of letting us win with Thassa's Oracle. What an asshole. Alright. So I could just bring in a bunch of ley lines. That should at least slow them down a lot. It's not necessarily a good sideboard card against them. But, well, it's not good against their sideboard against us, but it's very good at helping us survive for longer. I trust Phyrexian Unlife less after game 1. Because they're probably bringing in Wear Tears, maybe some other stuff too. Get rid of a Sleight of Hand since it's an odd one out. Pact of Negation isn't that great against them. Maybe it's like a one of would be good. I think Prismatic Ending is probably correct. Prismatic Ending, maybe Fatal Push, maybe Echoing Truth. They probably, well, I don't know if they would have Blood Moon. Sometimes Burn has Blood Moon, sometimes it doesn't. I assume that they don't because they have Lurrus. Yeah, because they have Lurrus, so they can't also use Lurrus and bring in Blood Moon. I always like to side in a couple Prismatic Ends just because of how, like, ridiculously versatile the card is. Let's ditch one Thoughtseize. Maybe more than one Thoughtseize. Yeah, maybe we cut down on Thoughtseizes. Keep one packed so we can Phyrexian Unlife and go off with Adnaus, draw our deck, and have protection for Phyrexian Unlife. That seems pretty good. And then I can bring in one more Prismatic End and a Fatal Push. Yeah, I think that sounds good to me. Phyrexian Unlife is a really good card against Burn, but it's mostly just good in game 1. Game 2, they will usually have some sort of enchantment removal if they saw it in the first game. Alright, so this one we have a Spoils of the Vault and a bunch of draw slash scry. And we have 4 lands, so we're not looking for any lands to go off anymore. We just need Thassa's Oracle. And a Angel's Grace. This hand's not necessarily the best, but I think I keep it. Because I feel like I would keep like this 6. That's a good sign. Our opponent leads on a Lava Spike, so that makes me think they have a slow hand too. We already found Angel's Grace, that's fantastic. Let's start with Darkslick Shore's Serum Visions. Maybe we can draw a Lotus Bloom. We draw Profane Tutor. Lotus Bloom to the bottom, Clearwater to the bottom. Pass the turn. So next turn we go Profane Tutor suspended with a Swamp, I suppose. Roiling Vortex. Oh, Profane Tutor looks worse now. We draw a Leyline. Lame. Well, actually, the turn we're going to cast Profane Tutor, we have an Angel's Grace already anyway, so it doesn't matter. We don't actually care about this effect since we have... Apparently our opponent has a lot of them. Build your own Sulfuric Vortex, I suppose. But it's fairly slow right now, and we have Angel's Grace to play in response to Profane Tutor being cast. Wow, there's another Leyline. That's funny. Temple of Deceit. Gotta get rid of the Scryland. Yield. Pinted, don't care. Serum Visions. We draw another Angel's Grace. Let's put Oracle on top and Unlife on the bottom just in case they somehow stop us from resolving our stuff. I'm gonna get rid of the stops just in case I click through and die to Roiling Vortex some way or another. Dragon Rage Channeler, weird. So this is a weird, like, more Luris than normal burn deck. Alright. Oh, I can't Angel's Grace in response because I didn't play a white source. That's hilarious. Okay, I'm gonna take a bunch of damage. Fuck. I'm so bad at this game. Jesus Christ. Okay. Okay. And I have to get Thassa's Oracle with it. I can't get a counterspell to protect myself with, and now my opponent can just bolt me. Well, that was a punt. Yeah, I could have even had another untapped land if I just didn't play Temple of Deceit first, played Serum Visions. Yeah. Oh well. Well, let's run it back. Hopefully less punting this time. We will take the play. It seems like a good idea. Alright, we only have Angel's Grace, but we have Leyline of Sanctity this time, and that's pretty funny. I'll keep it. I'm in a good mood. Yes. Okay. Pass the turn. Alright, we do need combo pieces. We only have Angel's Grace so far. But we have Pinted Prism, so we have a decent amount of mana. And we do have mana fixing. At least temporarily for black. Monastery Swiftspear. Opponent gets in. Okay, so we have black fixing. Do I just Prismatic End the Swiftspear now? I think I'd rather Pinted Prism, see if they play an Eidolon on the next turn. Maybe get a Roiling Vortex with Prismatic End. We'll see. I do have the Angel's Grace, and I can actually cast it this time. The only flaw in my plan last game was that I couldn't actually cast the Angel's Grace. Because it's kind of late in the day, and I did not think that hard about it. Okay, opponent suspends a Rift Bolt. So they will have a Monastery Swiftspear trigger at some point in the future. Okay. It's funny that they're playing Rift Bolts and also Roiling Vortex. Seems sort of mismatched. Alright, they didn't play another permanent, so let's Prismatic End you. Seachrome Coast, pass the turn. So our opponent does not really have a clock on us at this point, so that's nice at least. And they have to bolt themselves hilariously. I would like to just draw an ad naus, I think. Because if I have 8 mana, I can Angel's Grace, or if I have 7 mana and an extra land drop, I can Angel's Grace ad naus and win with Thassa's Oracle that way. Unfortunately, I can't just do it with 6 mana anymore because Simian Spirit Guide and Lightning Storm is not part of this deck anymore. RIP to the monkey. Opponent puts Luris into their hand, that's fine. It'd be nice if we got removal for the Luris too. Play Island, pass the turn. We've drawn a lot of nothing. Lots and lots of lands for a 20 land deck off the top of our deck so far. Have we drawn anything that wasn't in our opener, spell-wise? I don't think we have. Yeah, I think these 4 were all in our opening hand. That's pretty funny. Wow, okay. Apparently I'm flooding this game. I have a lot of very live draws and I can't seem to find any of them. Spoils the Vault gets Ad Nauseam, and that wins me the game. Ad Nauseam is Ad Nauseam, and that wins me the game. A tutor effect eventually gets me an Ad Nauseam or Spoils, and that would win me the game. Pentad Prisms and lands are not winning me this game. Oh no! This can't be how it ends. This can't be the end of this match. It's so unsatisfying. And eventually I assume our opponent's gonna wear Terra, Ley Line of Sanctity, and then just murder us. There's a Roiling Vortex. Alright, I'm less invested in getting... zero drops now. Yield to you. Oh my god. Pass the turn. We will not be suspending Lotus Bloom. We have plenty of mana. And Lotus Bloom literally only deals us 5 damage at this point. Yup. Alright, we have a couple more draw steps. Take 1 down to 7. We draw Phyrexian on life. Alright, that's a decent start. It could possibly buy us more time here, as long as they still don't have enchantment removal. Yep. Yep. Okay. I don't know what the point of that was. We still need one of our payoff black cards, please. Opponent has a full grip. Good lord. Opponent's got Boros Charm to give double strike. I mean, we can't do anything about that. We're gonna go to 1. This might be our last draw step if they have removal for Phyrexian on life. Alright, come on, deck. Alright, there's an Angel's Grace. No removal for Phyrexian on life, please. That still kills us. This is double strike again. I'm gonna Angel's Grace because this is gonna fog and stop our life from going below 0, so we won't get any infect from this. Which essentially fizzles the Boros Charm at this point. What? Oh, okay, so it's not our life getting hit below 0 that does that. Okay, that's fine. So we need to draw a thing now. Please. Yes. Last draw step, come on. Come on, deck. Alright, well, our opponent's got us. We'll concede and reveal our hand to them. And I'll see ya in the next one. Alright, round 2 with Ad Nauseam in Modern. We won the die roll again. Hopefully I can be a bit more effective with it this time. This seems great. We will keep. We have a combo in our hand already. We have decent mana fixing, although we want a little bit more blue, usually. But we have Lotus Bloom, so we can cast everything. Let's go Gemstone Mine, Serum Visions, Angel's Grace, and Thoughtseize on top. Let's put Grace on the bottom, Thoughtseize on top. Suspend Lotus Bloom, pass the turn. So I can Thoughtseize them next turn, play Phyrexian on life turn 3, and then turn 4 play Ad Naus and try to win. That seems like a decent plan. Is this burn deck again? This is burn deck again. Okay. I have a chance to redeem myself. Hopefully it goes well. Got a little overexcited there. Let's Thoughtseize them. Thoughtseize isn't the best against burn, but it usually saves you at least a couple life. Okay, Searing Blades we don't give a shit about. Eidolon we will get rid of. And our opponent is strapped for mana currently, so that's good news too. Goblin Guide. They did not draw land. That's great. Phyrexian on life should just seal the deal for us here. Seacrum Coast off the top. Wonderful. We take 3, go down to 14. Lotus Bloom ticks down. I love playing decks with Lotus Bloom. It's a very satisfying card. Not just because it's a reference to Black Lotus, but I really like the pressure that your opponent can see and gets a little worried and squeamish about type of way to play the game. I played Lotus Bloom in eggs for a very long time. And I've played it in, of course, Ad Nauseam. I've played it in like a weird. Oh, we just are drawing the Thassa's Oracle. I played it in a like weird Dragonstorm build that I had for a while, well after Dragonstorm was actually a thing. Let's go with Ad Nauseam just in case we need to counter something, although I doubt it. And draw the deck. I'm fine with them seeing the deck. It doesn't really change anything. We're pretty much just playing a stock list because Ad Nauseam has to be built from just a whole bunch of 4-ofs. But you get to hear me click my mouse a lot, and I'm sure that's not annoying. Alright, opponent, please concede so I can stop clicking. But yeah, I played eggs for a very long time. I might try to do a video with the updated version of the eggs list with Urza's Saga and whatnot. But Faith's Reward builds of eggs are such a pain in the ass to play on Moto, and it's so hard to win with them. Not just because they're already bad, which they are, but there's just so much clicking involved. Alright, let's get into the next game. Let's just sideboard exactly the same. The issue with those games was not how I sideboarded. It was that I'm bad at Magic. I think I cut all the Thoughtseizes, yeah. Okie dokie. I wonder if burn is going to be more popular than it has been since we've already seen 2 of them this league. Maybe it's getting a jump or something. Burn never stopped being like tier 1 or 2, but compared to Hammertime and Red Black X Lurrus decks and the Cascade deck, which I was seeing all the damn... Oh, and Living In, which I was seeing all the damn time. Okay, so we don't have enough mana, but we do have a Leyline and a combo in our hand, which is pretty funny. We have a Serum Visions. I feel like we can get lands. Let's keep it. See what happens. We're up a game. We can be a little silly. Okay. Alright, opponent, we have a Leyline. Opponent plays Goblin Guide. Gives us a land, please. Goblin Guide showed us a land. Beautiful. Let's play an island. Let's Serum Visions. Thassa's Oracle, Serum Visions. We want both, I think. Yeah, we put Thassa's Oracle on top and then Serum Visions on top of that, so we can play Seachrome Coast, Serum Visions, and draw Thassa's Oracle next turn. Yeah, that sounds good. Opponent plays Swift Spear. Opponent. Lava Spikes themselves to deal us 4. That's fine. Unfortunately, no land from Goblin Guide this turn, but oh well. Serum Visions, see what's on top. Clearwater Pathway, Thassa's Oracle. Let's go top. Seachrome Coast. Do I want to Prismatic End anything? I don't think so. I think I want to draw the card from Goblin Guide. Yeah. Okay. Pass the turn. Let's see if that bites me in the ass. Because I could have gotten rid of one of his creatures here. Opponent plays another Goblin Guide. Alright, so I already wish that I got rid of the first Goblin Guide. Just because multiple Goblin Guides is a little more annoying. Opponent deals us 5. We go to 9, we get Clearwater Pathway, we draw another Thassa's Oracle. We play Clearwater Pathway. I will prismatically end one of these just to make sure we're taking a little bit less damage. Opponent draws a card with Sunbaked Canyon. Okay. Them going down on mana prevents the play that I was more frightened of, which is like get rid of Leyline, burn you a bunch, hit you for a bunch. Or at least it makes it less likely. Let's see what they have. Opponent skewers themselves for the full 3. Okay, so we live. Beautiful. Well, I've redeemed myself against burn unless I figure out a way to lose this game. Again. Profane Tutor on top, we will not suspend that. Okay. Play Clearwater Pathway. Cast Angel's Grace. Cast Spoils. Name Yargle. Because why can't I play that in Modern yet? They need a playable Yargle. That goes into exile. It looks like our opponent conceded. And the game's lagging because of it, perhaps. Come on. Moto? Alright, no. It was just resolving spoils for a very long time. And cast Thassa's Oracle just like we drew it up. Awesome. Alright, well that's how you're supposed to play against Burn. I'll see you in the next one. Alright, round 3 of Ad Nauseam. We got the die roll again, lucky us. We have a bunch of mana and a Thassa and 1 Angel's Grace. But we're missing 2 whole combo pieces. We don't have any way to draw or to tutor. I think we have to mulligan. Which is really unfortunate. If this Thassa or one of these Pentad Prisms was either an Ad Nauseam or a Spoils of the Vault, this would be really good. So, mulligan. Ay. Alright, well in Ad Nauseam you need sort of a critical mass of cards just to have enough mana and also combo pieces, so I don't want to go to 5, which is unfortunate because now we're just missing out on things. I'm gonna get rid of Gemstone Mine. We have a Temple of Enlightenment, I guess, but this hand really isn't that hot. Temple of Enlightenment. Put Gemstone Mine on the bottom. We still don't want you. Suspend Lotus Bloom past the turn. Our opponent's not playing a companion, so that's good news, I guess. But we need to find combo pieces somehow. Sunbaked Canyon. Is this Burn again? Oh my god. Oh my god, it is Burn again. That's hilarious. Alright, well let's see if we can beat Burn with a terrible hand. Since Burn is apparently all I'm going to play against today. Oh my god. Let's play Pentad Prism. I think I want to Thoughtseize them now in case they have an Eidolon. Searing Blaze, great, those are dead cards. I'll get rid of the other Swift Spear. So they just have a Lightning Bolt in their hand, they can't cast Searing Blaze. At least to burn us. I think it is just target player and creature, so I think they can target their Swift Spear and deal damage to themselves if they really want like a prowess trigger. Yeah. Alright, they bolt me. They're dealing a decent amount of damage to themselves with these pain lands. We go to 12. Alright, hopefully our opponent doesn't do anything for a little while because it doesn't look like we're going to. We can suspend Profane Tutor. Might as well tap correctly. Let's play Clearwater Pathway, suspend Profane Tutor. So on turn 5 we get a Profane Tutor, which might be in time. I'm curious what I'm going to get with it. I'm sort of leaning Phyrexian on life right now. If we just draw a bunch of bricks again. But we'll see. If I draw Serum Visions next turn, is it worth casting it to just draw a card, or should I wait on Profane Tutor and assume that I'm going to combo off on turn 6 instead, I wonder. It could go either way. Alright, we get a Lotus Plume. We do not have the resources to combo off this turn, unfortunately. But we have the mana. Take down Profane Tutor. What do we get? Oh my god. Wow, I just keep drawing lands. That's crazy. Alright, so assuming I don't die this turn, which I guess I could. It's always a possibility. Opponent does have 5 cards in hand. 2 of them are Searing Blazes, but they have 3 unknowns. Swift Spear. Does Bolt kill us? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. If they have 2 Lightning Bolts exactly, they can kill us. They didn't have any Lava Spikes. They have a Lightning Helix. Okay. I wonder why they're not playing Luris. They already have the white splash. Do they have like 3 drops in their sideboard or something, I guess? It might signal that they have Blood Moon. Alright, we untap. We cast Profane Tutor. Yes. So if I get Phyrexian Unlife... If I get Phyrexian Unlife, I can have 3 mana, cast Phyrexian Unlife. I can't combo off this turn, no matter what I draw if I get that. But it's the only thing that really does anything. Yeah, I guess I have to. See what we draw. How do I have this many lands in my deck? Alright, pass the turn. We need to draw Spoils of the Vault or Ad Nauseam, and our opponent needs to have not enough burn to kill us. We have essentially 14 life, maybe a bit more depending on if anything splashes over Phyrexian Unlife, but we will see. Our opponent has 2 bricks in their hand. They are also drawing a lot of lands, it looks like, so that's good at least. Goblin Guide, okay. We're going to be taking 4 here, so we're going to be at 0. We had another Seachrome Coast on top of our deck, because of course we did. We untap, we draw. What the hell? Like, you can see the deck list in the description, and I showed it before the games. You know there's not this many... There's not that many lands, relatively. Like, usually when you're winning the game, you have, like, 3 lands. Another land on top? Profane Tutor on top, great. Another card we can't use. Oh my god. I mean, I guess I'm just gonna wait for my opponent to kill me. Maybe I can somehow get Profane Tutor to resolve, but it doesn't look like it. Because we're going to be at 8, and then we're going to be at, yeah, we can suspend Profane Tutor, but that's all we can do with that. We may have one more draw. If they somehow still don't have any burn or another Goblin Guide, we might be able to draw one more card. And 1 card is all we need if we get a Spoils of the Vault or an Ad Nauseam. So maybe this can still turn around. Alright, they didn't have the Goblin Guide. What do we have on top? Another Dark Slick Shores. How many lands have we drawn? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we've drawn half of the lands in our deck, essentially. Alright, now we're dead. Thank God we're out of our misery. Alright, we get a bunch of infect counters, and that's game. What was our next draw? Another Profane Tutor. Outstanding. Alright. Well, I'm gonna sideboard exactly the same way again. Maybe I bring in Echoing Truth instead of Fatal Push now, since they don't have Luris. What do you think the chances of them having Blood Moon are? Yeah, I think I'm gonna play as if they have Blood Moons, just in case. Echoing Truth could also get rid of Roiling Vortex, I suppose. So it's not the worst, at least. We will take the play. Ugh. So we have a Leyline of Sanctity, and that is useful, at least. But we only have Angel's Grace. And we're already flooded out again. The Leyline kind of tempts me to keep this hand. I do have mana fixing. Yeah, screw it. Leyline's funny, and we've played against Burn a million times today, so... I want to be vengeful against them. Darkslick Shores pass the turn. Hopefully we draw some combo pieces. We should have a decent amount of time because of the Leyline, but they also might just wear tear it immediately. Opponent plays Swift Spear, gets in. Yep. We go to 19. We draw Pentad Prism, Darkslick Shores, Pentad Prism. Pass the turn. Alright, so now we're getting towards actually casting Ad Nauseam mana, so that's good news. Opponent has another Swift Spear. Gets in for 2. Did they not have a land drop? If they don't have a land drop and we have a Leyline, that's hilarious. Oh my god, they didn't have a land drop. Okay. Well, we still don't have any action, but... Our opponent is very far behind where they normally are at this point. They don't have white mana, and they don't have a second land drop in general. They can hit us for 2 each turn. Let's see what happens. I really don't want to use this Angel's Grace to protect us. I'd rather just try to combo off with it, since we don't have any other combo pieces either. We're going to need it. Untap. Draw something good, please. Peace. Echoing Truth. That's actually not that bad. They have 2 Monastery Swift Spears that they're just not doing anything with. I might just bounce both of these this turn. Okay, opponent did have a land drop. Do they have a Wear Tear? Looks like they might. They do have Wear Tear. Okay, what do we do? Do I just bounce the Swift Spears? Or do I bounce Leyline of Sanctity and replay it next turn? I think it could go either way, honestly. They probably have a grip full of burn, is the thing. But they're still choked on mana. Well, the Prowse triggers are going to resolve one way or another. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm going to take 9 if I don't bounce the Swift Spears this turn. Yeah, let's let Leyline die. Opponent Lava Spikes. That's fine. When they go to combat, we will Echoing Truth the Swift Spears. We go to 12. Bounce, bounce. Two-time counters on Lotus Bloom. We should be able to have enough time for that to come down. Hopefully we draw an Ad Nauseam or Spoils. But we're gonna still be mana flooded, apparently, instead. Wow, I can't just stop drawing lands to save my life. We did have plenty of lands in our opening hand this time at least, but... like, good lord. Alright, Swift Spears. We take some damage. Opponent still doesn't have a third land drop, so we go down to 10. There's a decent chance we have to cash in our Angel's Grace next turn if our opponent gets to untap. So hopefully we draw something here. I know I've been saying hopefully we draw something here this entire match, but maybe this time it'll actually happen. Who knows? Who knows? Cast Lotus Bloom. We have a ton of mana. We draw. Another Angel's Grace, okay. Not actually the worst. Let's play Clearwater Pathway, pass the turn. 2 Angel's Graces means we guaranteed get to have one more draw step. So this essentially cantrips itself. Because if we have to use an Angel's Grace this turn to stay alive, we can. And if we don't, that's great too. Opponent attacks for 3. Do they have a Lightning Bolt? They gotta have a Lightning Bolt, right? We're not dead to a Lightning Bolt still, so that's good news. Opponent bolts us. We go to 7, we take 6 down to 1. Okay. Do they have any mutagenic growths? They don't. We untap. Draw? Profane Tutor. Well, the only thing we can do with that is suspend it. Pass the turn. So I assume our opponent has some instant speed burn, which means that we only have one more draw step. Because we have to use an Angel's Grace here. And then presumably we have to use one on our turn to stay alive. So we've got one more draw. Angel's Grace. You can't respond to that, bucko. Has split second. Please read the card. I can see you have a Boros Charm or a Lightning Helix now, but please. Alright. Opponent's gonna tap mana. And not do anything with it, I assume. If we draw another Angel's Grace, we might be able to resolve Profane Tutor. We'll see. Since our opponent just tapped mana there, we might not need to use an Angel's Grace on our turn if they don't have a Lightning Bolt. Profane Tutor ticks down. We draw Thassa's Oracle. Alright. Well, let's pass the turn. No combo yet. But they didn't have a Lightning Bolt. And that's great. Opponent draws a card with Sunbaked Canyon. Okay. Opponent fetches with Wooded Foothills. Okay. Opponent casts Boros Charm. No. Alright. So Profane Tutor is going to resolve. Our opponent is tapped out of mana. They don't have another land drop this turn. We have a Thassa's Oracle. We can Profane Tutor for one of our combo pieces and then hope to draw the other one. Since we've used 2 Angel's Graces already, I think we need to get a Phyrexian on life. Because we have 2 Angel's Graces and view sideboard. We have 2 Angel's Graces, 2 Phyrexian on life, so we have 4 draws at one of our white combo pieces, and we have an Ad Naus and 4 Spoils of the Vault, and we have 5, so we have 5 draws at our black combo piece, and we need 1 of each. So let's get a Phyrexian on life, because 3, yeah, even if we draw Ad Nauseam, we have enough mana to cast Thassa's Oracle, Ad Nauseam, and Phyrexian on life, because we have a million lands. Cast Profane Tutor. Making sure our opponent doesn't have any 0 drops. Let's see. Get Phyrexian on life. We draw. Another Thassa's Oracle. Ugh. Alright, Phyrexian on life. Cast a Thassa's Oracle, I guess as a blocker. scry a little bit. We don't really want either of these. No. I think we have to fish for a Spoils of the Vault on top. Cast another Thassa's Oracle, scry 4. Hopefully they don't have Wear Tear again. If they do, it doesn't matter. We're just gonna die anyway. Don't need any of these. No. Okay. Well, we had a lot of dead draws on top. Pass the turn. Alright, we just died to enchantment removal and a burn spell. Well, they don't even need a burn spell. They're going to get in for at least 1 or 2 damage if they have a piece of enchantment removal. Opponent plays a tapped land. They seem like they're kind of flooded at this point, actually, even though they started with 1 land for a couple turns. Maybe we'll get lucky, but who knows? We've gotten very lucky just being able to stay alive at this point, honestly. They're not attacking with everything? Okay. Thought that was going to be a weird move for a second. Block. Block. How much damage are we taking? Are we dead? They don't have any white mana up. They skull crack us. Okay. We go to -2. We're taking at least 2 poison counters right now. We get another draw step, miraculously. It looks like. Opponent skewer the critics, Thassa's Oracle for some reason. It's probably just more worthwhile going face at this point, but it's fine. Okie dokie. Alright, we untap. We draw. Something good? Alright. So we've used 2 Thassa's Oracles. So if we exile both of the other Thassa's Oracles with the Spoils of the Vault, we lose automatically because we don't have a win condition. But we have to YOLO the Spoils of the Vault to try to get Ad Nauseam. I'm just really glad that our opponent didn't have another Wear Tear for that Phyrexian on life. That would have been very unfortunate. Alright, fingers crossed. Ad Nauseam, please. No Thassa's Oracles in exile, or at least not 2 of them. Oh, we exiled both of them. Damn it. I guess I'll show our opponent a very cool deck. If we still had Echoing Truth, I actually would have enough mana to bounce the Thassa's Oracle and replay it. But we only brought in 1 Echoing Truth. So here we are. Alright. No more cards in our deck. No. And we concede. Well, that was a really weird match. I'll see you in the next one. Alright, round 4 of Ad Nauseam. We won the die roll again. It's nice that we keep doing that. I'd really like to play against something other than Burn. Opponent's playing a Lurrus deck. We don't have a lot of mana, but we've got decent combo pieces in our hand. I think we keep it. Gemstone Mine's gonna commit Sudoku after a few taps, and that's unfortunate, but we get to Serum Visions, we have a Lotus Bloom, we already have 2 of the combo pieces we're looking for. It seems decent. Watch this be Burn again. opponent is currently deciding whether or not to mulligan, it looks like. Opponent did mulligan to 6, okay. Alright, Gemstone Mine. Seaman Visions. We draw Pinthead Prism. We have Spoils of the Vault, Pinthead Prism on top. Bottom, we would like to draw land. Suspend Lotus Bloom. If we had more mana, I would have kept the other Spoils of the Vault, because Spoils of the Vault times 2 and a white effect actually just lets us combo off, because we can Spoils for Thassa's Oracle and then Spoils for something that's not in our deck. Yield to Lotus Bloom, Angel's Grace. Serum Visions, please have a land on top. It's fine. No. Okay. We have a land on top now. Do I want Profane Tutor? I don't think I do. I think it's too slow. City of Brass on top. It looks like we're probably playing against Hammertime. If this was the Fiddlebender deck, they probably wouldn't be playing Luris, because they usually play Nettle Cyst. And also sometimes some other swords, but I feel like I see Nettle Cyst more often than, like, Sophie in that deck. Springleaf Drum, okay. Pure Steel Paladin, okay. Okay. So we can play Pinthead Prism, but it costs us our Gemstone Mine. Which I think is still worth it. We would at least have 6 mana next turn. And that is enough to combo off with. We might have to Angel's Grace to stay alive here. If we draw Thassa's Oracle, how do things change for us? So I think, I'm assuming they have a hammer in their hand. So I think our plan is, if they cast Hammer, we Pact of Negation it and just assume that we're going to combo off next turn or die. So I think Pinthead Prism's worth it. They probably don't have any removal for it. And if we only have one more turn anyway, it doesn't matter if our Gemstone Mine dies. Cast Pinthead Prism, sure, you can draw a card. Okay. Okay. Esper Sentinel's so good. Especially when we are playing like this, very greedy with our mana sources. Opponent plays Urza's Saga. Okay. Do they go for the kill? Looks like they're going to. Sigarda's Aid? Okay. Opponent attacks for 4. I assume they're flashing in a boy here since they left back a mana. No blocks. Alright, come on, Thassa's Oracle on top. Pact of Negation. Sure, you can draw a card with your Esper Sentinel. I really don't care at this point. You've already drawn like 3 or 4 with them. Let's get rid of our stops so I can make sure that I'm going to Angel's Grace. Stack it like that. Cast Angel's Grace. No. Okay. 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 Cast you. Okay. No, I will not pay for Pact. Draw Serum Visions. So if I Serum Visions, then what? I guess Serum Visions, draw Thassa's Oracle is my chance to win this turn. I might just be playing Phyrexian on life and passing, hoping that they don't have another hammer. We'll see. Another Serum Visions on top, land. Let's put you on the bottom. Put you on top. Cast this Serum Visions. We want Profane Tutor on the bottom. We want... Do I want to land on top? I guess I do need one more land now. And we're going to have to hope that they don't have a hammer and just Phyrexian on life here. So that we don't die. Play you. Alright. So we need 2 draw steps because we need to draw the land next turn and then we need to draw Thassa's Oracle to be able to win. And Urza Saga is going to go to 2 and then to 3, so we're not actually going to have that amount of time. I think I'd rather be playing against Burn a 4th time than playing against Hammertime. Let's see what terrible thing our opponent does to us this turn. Plays another Urza Saga. There's a decent chance they have another Colossus Hammer because of how many cards they've drawn. They've drawn as many cards as we have, and we have used way more of our own cards. Very unfortunate. What do we bring in against Hammertime? So Prismatic Ends are pretty obvious, includes... Opponent plays... Shadow Spear, that's fine. So we bring in 3 Prismatic Ends. Probably Echoing Truth, because there's a decent chance they have some sort of decent sideboard hate against us. They might just not care and go straight for the kill, though. We'll see. Echoing Truth is still kind of decent against that because it can at least bounce creatures. Might be worth bringing in Fatal Push instead of... Yeah, there's Colossus Hammer. Okay, we concede. What would we have drawn? Draw Clearwater Pathway, draw Spoils of the Vault. Yeah, we wouldn't have had enough mana. We would have had the combo pieces that we needed, but just not enough mana at the end there. The one lander with Gemstone Mine was probably too greedy, but I like being greedy, so it's okay. Let's get rid of Adnaz, let's get rid of 2 Phyrexian on lives, let's... I think I keep the Thought Seizes against them. Do I want to sideboard anything else? I can sideboard out a Pact, sideboard in a Fatal Push. I think that makes sense. Bantu's probably isn't worth it. Hopefully we can kill them by the time that we would be able to play Bantu's anyway. Let's try it like that. Bring in 3 Prismatic Ends and a Fatal Push, cutting Pact of Negation, Adnaz, and 2 Phyrexian on life. We will play first. Hammertime is such a scary Magic deck. It's so consistent, it's ridiculous. They have essentially 8 of every effect they could possibly need, or more. Alright, well this hand isn't interactive at all, but it has a decent amount of combo pieces in it, and it has a reasonable amount of lands and a Lotus Bloom, so I think we have to keep. We can start on Serum Visions, and then go Profane Tutor on turn 2. Suspend Lotus Bloom. Cast Semen Visions. We draw Gemstone Mine, we put Lotus Bloom to the bottom, Angel's Grace on top. Pass the turn. Alright, so we have the combo. We just need the time for the combo now. Opponent plays Concealed Courtyard, Esper Sentinel, Memnite. We draw Angel's Grace, we will play Gemstone Mine, suspend Profane Tutor. Haha, you don't get to draw a card with your Esper Sentinel this turn. Because we're just placing the card in exile. I like playing with suspend cards, it's very fun. They get blown out really hard by Void Mirror and just because people know when they're coming down so they can counter appropriately. That's lame. Thoughtseize is lame. Why would you Thoughtseize me, opponent? Alright, they take a combo piece. Angel's Grace goes away. That's fine. Honestly, I'd rather have Spoils of the Vault than Angel's Grace at this point, I think. Opponent plays Colossus Hammer. They don't currently have a way to equip. Attacks us for 2. Okay. Yield to Profane Tutor. 1 tick on each. Let's Serum Visions. Not paying for Esper Sentinel. Draw a card, see what we get. There's a Thassa's Oracle on top. But we can't draw it anyway. Let's go bottom top, just in case they deal with our Profane Tutor one way or another. Play a Swamp. Suspend another Profane Tutor in case we need it. We might have enough time for it, who knows. Pass the turn. We also might get Thoughtseized again, that would be sad. So first Profane Tutor, what do we get? They probably have answers for Phyrexian on life, since they are playing a white deck. I'll probably just get Angel's Grace. We will see, we will see. Yeah, I can get Angel's Grace with the first one and get Ad Nauseam with the second one, and then that gets me a dub, I suppose. And if I get Angel's Grace and then just happen to draw another Spoils of the Vault or an Ad Nauseam, well, Thoughtseize, okay. Opponent has an Inkmoth Nexus, which means Phyrexian on life isn't quite going to do it. Cast you. We don't have enough mana for a 2-card combo, so we might as well pay for this. Yes. Okay. Let's get... Okay, so if they have another Thoughtseize, Angel's Grace is bad. If they have enchantment removal, Phyrexian on life is bad. What do we think they have? We've already seen 2 Thoughtseizes, so it's kind of unlikely they have more of those in their hand right now. So I guess we go Angel's Grace. Cast Lotus Bloom. What do we draw? Draw Gemstone Mine. Alright, we'll play Gemstone Mine, pass the turn. If our opponent doesn't have interaction for this turn, and also doesn't try to kill us, we have the combo next turn. So they have to not be able to kill Lotus Bloom, and they also have to not be able to kill us. It looks like they probably can't kill us since they're spending all their mana making a construct. Looks like they are lacking in ways to equip the Colossus hammers. They would need double white to be able to equip this one this turn, and also the one that I assume that they're going to tutor for. They might get something else though, who knows. Let's see. Yeah, 2 Colossus hammers. Does our opponent have a win this turn? They have an Urza's Saga. They have an attack for 2. Looks like that's all they have. Are we going to get a win against Hammertime? God, I hope so. It looks like it, because they're letting us untap with the Lotus Bloom. If they had any sort of removal for it, they would have cast it already. They only have colorless mana currently. I don't care about Esper Sentinel. Cast Profane Tutor, get our Ad Nauseam. We draw Thassa's Oracle. We Angel's Grace. We Ad Nauseam. Okay. Alright, it looks like we got the win. We have a Pact of Negation backup. Yeah, opponent concedes. Okay, thank God. We did get at least one win against good old Hammertime. Let's see, do I want to change how I sideboarded at all? Not really. Leylines could be good, but I don't think they have that many Thought Seizes. Yeah, I think I'm still happy with how I sideboarded. Alright. I like having the Thought Seizes and Prismatic Ends in against them because I want to have as much disruption as possible because of how fast this deck can be. But we'll see how this game goes. Have to win while on the draw now, which will be significantly harder, I assume. Especially if their hand is decently fast and has all the combo pieces they needed. So we have Thoughtseize to lead it on, and we have a Lotus Bloom and Adnaz. This hand's kind of janky, but I think I'll keep it. Seems like it might be good enough. Opponent gets to have their turn 1, they get Esper Sentinel, because of course they do. We draw Darkslick Shores. Suspend Lotus Bloom. Play Darkslick Shores. Is it worth Thought Seizing and just letting them draw a card with it? It feels really silly, but I think it is, just to try to get a Thought Seize or a Hammer out of their hand. At least we get to see what they drew. But wow, that makes Thoughtseize feel a lot worse. Okay, they have Stoneforge Mystic, Sigarda's Aid, Seal of Cleansing. They don't have any black mana. So I think I just take Sigarda's Aid and hope for the best. Maybe they won't get away to equip, if I'm lucky. Stoneforge Mystic, tutors for Hammer, I assume. Yep. Slaps us for 1. Okay. I think I might just play Thassa's Oracle to scry. Yield. We'll see what we draw. We drew another Lotus Bloom, we will suspend it. Let's play an island. It looks like we're going to value Adnaz, most likely. Let's cast Thassa's Oracle, get our scry on. Prismatic End, Pentad Prism. I can't cast either of these. Well, I can cast Pentad Prism. I don't want either of these, so... no. I need an Angel's Grace so I can combo off with Ad Naus. Sigarda's Aid. Let's put the blocker in front of you. Opponent casts Colossus Hammer. We could pact, but we'll just die, so we're not going to pact it. Alright, well, our opponent doesn't want to deal damage to us for whatever reason this turn. We will play Darkslick Shores, because we can. Pass the turn! Opponent has another Stoneforge, so if they have a land, they can just go Stoneforge kill you. Doesn't look like they have that, though. They have a Thassa, they take our Ad Naus. Wow, this is going terribly. Yep, takes Ad Nauseam. We take a bunch of damage, maybe lethal if they have another Colossus Hammer. They do not. We draw one card and get a Lotus Bloom. What can we do with this? Cast Lotus Bloom. Okay. No, I will not pay. Okay. We draw. Angel's Grace. That lets me untap one more time, but it cost me a Lotus Bloom, which kind of sucks. Let's play Murkwater Pathway, pass the turn. So what can we draw to get out of this? They have enchantment removal, so well, why didn't they just kill us last turn? Weird. Okay. So we have one draw. I don't think there's anything that gets us out of this situation. Seal of Cleansing, okay. If they preemptively use Seal of Cleansing on Lotus Bloom, they did not. That's lame. I do not have 11 generic mana, so I will not pay for that. We go to 1. We draw. Cast our Lotus Bloom. Okay. I assume opponent Seal of Cleansing's this. If so, we just die. If they misclick, we might have a chance to draw something. Yeah, opponent Seal of Cleansing's it. Okay. And that's match. Let's Spoils of the Vault to take ourselves out. Where's my Yargle at? Damn shame I couldn't find Yargle. Spoils of the Vault. Wow, that lagged the game out pretty bad, didn't it? Jeez. Alright, I'll see you in the next one. Alright, we lost the die roll finally. We are in round 5 of Ad Nauseam. Hopefully we can pull this into a 2-3. I've been real rusty with Ad Naus, so I've been playing pretty bad. Profane Tutor, Angel's Grace, Pinthead Prism, Thoughtseize. Another Loris deck, my god. I would rather not have these two lands, but this hand is decently strong. We can go turn 2 Profane Tutor, turn 3 Pinthead Prism, and possibly set up for turn 4 win. Let's keep it. Let's see what our opponent's playing. They are on the draw after all. Or we're on the draw after all. Arid Mesa. Oh my god. Please be Burn again. That'd be hilarious. It looks like Burn. There's a mountain. Alright, so I have to redeem myself. Again. Against Burn. I wonder how long Lurrus stays in the format, or if it even ever gets taken out. It feels like it's in way too many decks to be healthy for the meta. And I feel like nobody really likes it. I feel like a lot of people play with it and like that it's good. But I think it's way more disliked than even the other companions. Alright, let's see. Let's... Thought sees you. It's kind of risky since it's a gemstone mine, but I want to make sure you don't have an Eidolon to play. Boros Charm, Lightning Bolt, Lightning Helix. Well, Boros Charm is the most damage, so let's get rid of you. Opponent has 6 damage in hand. Their hand kind of sucks now, so that's great for us. It's also great for us that Phyrexian on Life is really good against Burn. We would like to draw a land, I think, so we have at least 3 lands that are real. I'd like to draw a 3rd land so I can cast Pinthead Prism without feeling bad about it. Let's suspend Profane Tutor. Pass the turn. We have not drawn a land yet. We'll see what happens with that. Opponent... yeah. Opponent helixes us, that's fine. We go to 12, they go to 19. As much as their life total matters. Opponent shocks in, goes to 17. Profane Tutor takes down. Land, please. Thassa's Oracle. Okay. Well, we definitely cast Pinthead Prism here. If we draw... So I can either tutor for a land or tutor for a Spoils of the Vault. It makes more sense to tutor for a Spoils of the Vault because then I can just go Angel's Grace Spoils Thassa's Oracle if I draw a land. So I think that's the plan. And hopefully I don't just get mana screwed forever. Opponent helixes us, bolts us. We go to 6. Okay. What's our opponent got? Opponent skewers us. Do they have... they don't have any more burn in their hand. Okay. Opponent has no more cards in their hand. Maybe I get a land and just play Phyrexian on Life. And then if I draw spoils, I win. That seems like a decent plan too. Phyrexian on Life might actually get me a few cards. Just because of the time that I'll be able to have. Yeah, I think that's an okay plan. Cast Profane Tutor. Yes. Let's get Dark Slick Shores. What do we draw? Draw another land. Okay. Cast Phyrexian on Life. Alright, our opponent is Hellbent. We have 4 mana for next turn still, so whenever we draw Spoils of the Vault, we can just auto-win. And we have a few draws, so that's nice. And we also have a Pact of Negation and an Angel's Grace. So that's good too. And opponent concedes. Okay. Well, that's great, because I did not have the win yet. We would have drawn Serum Visions, that would have drawn us a Lotus Bloom, and we would have scryed Phyrexian on life. Pinthead Prism, yeah, we wouldn't have won after a long time. That's pretty funny. Okay. Ley Lines, yes. Prismatic Endings, yes. I don't think I'm going to bring the Fatal Push in this time. I think I want to sideboard a little bit more lightly against burn. I think I want to leave the Sleight of Hand in, see if that helps me smooth my draws a little bit better. Find the things I need when I need them. You don't want to sideboard too heavily with combo decks like this, because you risk making the deck significantly more clunky. But we'll see what happens. Opponent's on the play again. I am definitely... Okay, Ad Naus, Profane Tutor, Phyrexian on life. That's just a whole ass combo. Phyrexian on life is real good. It's not the best, but Profane Tutor helps it a lot. Let's keep. This hand is not significantly fast, and we don't really have ways to protect ourselves, because I assume they're going to have at least one Wear Tear. Usually that's a decent rule of thumb. At least one enchantment removal. Goblin Guide. Let's see what Goblin Guide shows us. Usually I would be pretty unhappy with a league that has gone this poorly, and I might try to re-record it. I'll probably revisit Ad Naus eventually after I practice a little bit more to show you how good the deck can actually be if you're piloting it correctly. But because I ran into 4 burn decks, I think I have to put this out just because it's hilarious. Only 3 of them were Lurrus burn decks, I'll give them that. I don't know why, but Leyline of Sanctity on top. It's always the card right under the cards you were drawing. Leyline of Sanctity is so consistently the card on top of your deck. It's kind of ridiculous. We do want Thassa's Oracle. So Thassa's Oracle on life means we can win on turn 4 because Profane Tutor can get us Spoils of the Vault if we untap with Unlife still in play. Which we'll see about that, but either way, our opponent has to deal a decent amount of damage to us for us to not resolve this Phyrexian on life, at least. Opponent Lava Spiked us. Let's see what else they have. They have 3 cards in hand, which isn't a ton. They have another Lava Spike, okay. They see our Thassa's Oracle. It's kind of funny, one line I could take here is just playing Thassa's Oracle because its butt can block Goblin Guide. But it essentially would just gain us 3 life, and that's not really worth it compared to tutoring a turn earlier. Opponent has 2 cards in hand. It's pretty unlikely that they're going to be able to deal 10 damage here. And if one of their cards in hand is a Wear Tear, it means they're dealing even less damage, so we might just be fine anyway. Suspend Profane Tutor. So they're going to have 3 cards in hand, but they have a maximum of 2 spells they can cast, because even if they draw land, they only have 2 cards in hand. We will see, we will see. If they have Wear Tear, they do just get to kill us when we try to kill them, though. If they haven't tapped out. Opponent Boros Charms us. Lotus Bloom's on top of our deck. I guess we'll suspend that, but not that much of a point in doing it. Our opponent has 2 cards in hand. They will have 3 next turn. So they need a Wear Tear and a Bolt to kill us. Alright, we'll see what happens. Alternatively, they just need a Wear Tear, and they need to not tap out so that they can do it in response to our Spoils of the Vault. Eidolon, that's not it. Do they have land Wear Tear? That's their line now. Yield, they did not have a land. Makes me think it's very unlikely they have a way to kill us. I assume they're going to concede once we show them the combo. Cast Profane Tutor. They already know about the Thassa's Oracle, so they know that we're going to actually be able to kill them here, if they're familiar with the deck at least. Let's see if they have some sort of 0 cost enchantment removal. It looks like they don't. Get Spoils of the Vault. Play Clearwater Pathway, just in case they mana tie this. Spoils of the Vault. Okay, we get a -2. We're going to go to... Well, we actually get some Infect, rather. And we're going to go to negative a lot more than that in a second. Okay. Yargle, please. Ah, there's no Yargles in our deck, is there? That's a shame. And Moto's going to get buggy for a little while because Spoils of the Vault apparently is just too much to handle. It's fun playing cards that mess with Moto. I know Angel's Grace and Phyrexian Life have been bugged on multiple occasions. That's actually why I stopped playing this deck for a while, because for a little while they just stopped fogging the damage. Like, Angel's Grace would still make you not lose, but if you used it as a fog, it would just go to negative however much life and then die on cleanup step. Alright, and play the fish. We'll take some more Infect. Hooray. Thassa's Oracle is a very silly card too. It's really fun playing this deck. I definitely need to practice it more. I doubt it'll be this month, but I do think that I'm going to pick up this deck a bit more for when I'm just playing casually, and maybe record again once I feel more confident with it and I've updated the sideboard a bit. I haven't really updated the sideboard more than like maybe adding a adding one more removal spell or something like that, since I got a decent place with it a few months ago in a modern challenge, or modern, I think it was a challenge, I don't remember. Anyway, I definitely need to update the sideboard a little bit. I know that a lot of people like Veil of Summer in it, but I don't like straining the mana even more than it already is. You've seen that it's a bit difficult, and I like having a couple basics in the main deck, just because I can. Because Blood Moon is a real pain in the ass for ad naus. But yeah, the deck's really fun. It's not interactive almost at all, but I find that really fun because it's funny to make your opponent try to figure out what to do when you don't have any creatures, and pretty much all they can do is either Thoughtseize you or counter something. And I'll see you in the next one.
Hey everyone, Shoenice again. Well, basically, go subscribe to Tezzey's YouTube channel. And for those who made it to the end of the video, Thank you.